Hello and welcome to episode 20 of our East Coast mainline map, and we are staring at the bridge that took me far too long to create last episode. Was it worth it? Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. I like it. I added a few more fields, some trees, looking a lot more organic now. And we head over this way. We have our bridge, random stuff placed under it, as you get on most of the railways around the UK. There we go. I also spent far too much time over here, and I placed Bedford station in. The beginnings of it, anyway. As you can see, Bedford has somewhat been obliterated. Well, let's put it that way. But we're hoping they rebuild. I'm sure they will. We have this bridge here, and we have... This took me far too long. In hindsight, I should have maybe time-lapsed all of this, because I was just going to say, let's put in the station. We've got a double station, actually, because I wanted to recreate this side too. Yeah, I should have time-lapsed this completely. But it's too late now. By the time I'd finished, I was like, oh dear. That was a lot of work. You could have seen that in some form or another. I'm pretty happy with this, the double arches. We have a lot of mini tunnels, bridges like this in the UK, but they're a real pain to recreate at the moment, which is a shame. But hey, I think it's worth it. Oh, do you know, I heard the chings in the background, so let's turn those off. Before we get going, and hopefully head a lot closer to Bedford this episode, we need to add some bus stops here, because they're not really getting as someone's waiting. I mean, some people will. This guy is, for instance. Finley Stewart, thank you for using the brand new Wellingborough station. You are a star. But we're going to put the W7 in, the bus route that actually runs around here. That's what we're going to do. And that way we'll get full coverage of Wellingborough. Hopefully that'll encourage some more people. We're going to have to go this way for now. On this corner will do. And we're probably going to have to make some sort of turnaround point. So we'll go... Think about this. We'll go up here. And then here. And then we'll create some roads. Ready for them to extend. Yep. Still go on. My apologies. It has to be done. We'll have a road. Now go up. It'll go up. Join in to there. Does that make a little ramp? Yes, it does. Where doesn't it make a little ramp? By destroying your house. There we go. For beautification purposes, we've destroyed someone's house. Alright, let's get a side road in. Not make it perfectly straight, because it never is, isn't around the UK, unless you're in Milton Keynes. We almost have Milton Keynes on the map. We're not a million miles away. Would be down here somewhere, I think. Yeah, Bletchley and then Milton Keynes would be like just there. Get on with our buses, shall we? I feel like we should have something going... Oh, is that a gap? That looks like a gap. Like that then. Alright. Let's continue our bus service. The W7. Then we can come round this way and then head back to the train station. Perfect. Eventually this will fill out. And here comes our train. You should have more passengers. Do you have anyone on you? No, you don't. You may do soon when there's more access to Wellingborough. Now, because it's first Northampton, we're going to go with Wellingborough W7. Wait, would that be... Yeah, let's do it like that. Wellingborough W7. We have this one. One. And there. Here. 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 Oh. Almost missed that one. I like this little bit here. That's kind of cool. And we're done. So we've got 8 stops. They all automatically lock in place in the current beta. I would imagine that's how it's going to stay too. I do like that. I do get tired of locking them. To me, that's an improvement. Alright, should we get some buses on here? I think so. Do we have a... We do. Just here. That's close enough. Well, we'll have them as, I guess, these. And they'll also be white. Yeah. Yeah, let's have those. I do like these too. These carry more. We had 8, right. Let's go for 6 then. Should be enough. Well, that's 5, 6. Wellingborough 7, please. Off you go, guys. You got a long old journey. At least they can get there. Well, that's noisy. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, once we've got this running, we'll continue our way to the lovely city of Bedford, which is looking pretty destroyed at the moment. It will return in glorious fashion, and it will have 2 stations there too. It'll have a little commuter station for a branch line. There's a lot of people using the roads again, considering we've just destroyed them. They're back using them pretty rapidly. Let's see. I can't remember what A road this is, but you're using it. Oh no! We have a dirt pile. I'm not sure if this is something to do with the patch or changes I made to Painter. I will investigate. But all you have to do is relay that piece of road or track and it vanishes. Let's play that again. Off go our buses on the slip road. We got ourselves a convoy. Right, let's leave those heading off this way. Has anybody... Probably not, actually. Probably timed that wrong. I should have maybe paused it. Do a little bit of smoothing. That's the smoothing done. Should we attempt this? While I do this, we need to head this way for a bit. And we need to be heading kind of down. You'll see why in a bit. This doesn't have to be too fast at all. And for our purposes, we're not going to have our freight trains running extremely quickly. But this one for sure needs to go underground. So, probably going to need to go quite a way out. And I'm hoping we can manage it. We may need to, we might manage it up there, actually. So if we continue going out further, keep straight, we might... It's when they join kind of back up that this one goes underground for a little way. And it is getting deeper. There we go. This does actually sit down. This one will go into a small tunnel, kind of parallel with the track. We don't need to care about speed. Is it going to be enough? If it's not going to be enough, we can sort it out ourselves. Either dropping down a little further. You know what? Looks like it might go down. We could also bring that up a touch, couldn't we? Let's get our big old flattening brush or leveling brush. If I can remember where it is. I can never remember where it is. There we go. And if we can raise this up even further, it needs to be quite long too. But that will give us what we need, I think. It's going to be about there. I would like to recreate that. We're getting dangerously close to Bedford though. However, we do have another viaduct to do. At least one. There are actually 4. How we're going to do that, I do not know. So we need to hire this. And if I can remember how this is done. Height adjustment. Here we go. Yes. Perhaps that will just give us enough to make a tunnel. We shall see. If it doesn't, we'll come on. So close. I think we drop down a little bit before we get here. Gonna be a good idea. We'll just drop down a touch here. Continue down for a little bit. And I think that will give us enough. And we can go straight. Will that give us a perfect? You don't know how happy that makes me. Obviously we'll need to come back up to meet this again. This stay flat. I'm liking it so far. Ooh, we do need to come up a bit. Is that enough? Actually, what we could do, this needs to swing round first. Keeps not quite that much. Let's stick to, I believe it's 100 miles an hour. So if we stick to 100 on the main line, I know that will make that one 99, but splitting hairs there. If we do this, this one doesn't have to be very fast at all. Not there. They don't do that. They do that. You know what? That'll be fine. Oh. Kind of wish there was an undo button. I think we can get away with it though. Yeah, it wouldn't be that long, would it? The way our map is shrunk down a little bit. This is all fields over here. And this needs to stay pretty similar to that. How it's looking there with that texture. This won't be here. We're using this to keep the track separate for the time being. We actually need to keep swinging round. Obviously 100 miles an hour. Once I'm happy with this, we're good to go. There we go. And we can get rid of this. I think I would like that to go a little bit further, to be fair. So how are we going to do that? I believe if we go like this, that'll be good enough. And then we can stay just a touch longer. There we go. That's more like it. Gained ourselves a few meters extra. Looking all a bit. This is what we need now. Not too much on the smoothing. It needs to have these sidings. Not sidings. These sides to them. It is what looks to be fairly man-made. Where they've carved a a route through the countryside as I destroy the lovely sides. I think we got it though. I do like that. That's roughly how it looks. This will all be trees and bushes. Mainly bushes though. Let's get those in now to see how we're looking. I think it'll look nice. There'll be a up along the sides here quite high. This will be about where the fields are. Rather than going to the track side, we sit at the top here. And we kind of follow the track. Because we can do something here at a later date, scenery wise. We do want some on the edge. So far so good though. We don't want to completely wipe it out. We do want to get rid of that there. We can just texture that slightly. Be a bit careful here. Get rid of that line as best as possible. This, oh, that's not nice. Just push the brush across gently. Just to take the straight line out and smooth it. I could put it on low. I kind of do want... I don't want it completely flat. And I don't want it that high when you first come into it. There we go. So we recreated that section, which we looked at last episode. That was much faster than I thought it would be. Which means I probably did it wrong. But we don't mind. Had to protect your ears from a quick cough. All this talking I've been doing lately, my vocal cords are not used to it. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. I'm enjoying myself though. So that's a bonus. Another thing while we're doing this and figuring out what we're going to do next, I want to talk about the next map a bit more, as I'm sure you guys are interested where we'd be heading after here, even though we've got quite a lot of work to do. The next map, I feel we can go a little bit or a lot more ambitious, especially with how I've got my settings, which I will, I promise, make into a mod rather than just a settings file when I find time. But yeah, the next map, I think we go all out. Every single, wherever we go, it will have all the little villages, all the stops on the route that make sense. If you, obviously, I don't want to leave. If we zoom out, look at it. There's too much here. This could be served by the local bus routes, but I've never tried playing this. Obviously, I've never played it in the beta until recently, and this map was made way before the beta came out. I didn't think the new patch would actually be as good as it is. I've heard it before from developers, but Urban Games have, well, they're on it. They have done a superb job on how smooth this is. Combine that with throttling how much the map expands, you get a really good frame rate for a long time. On a map like this size as well. I can't remember how many it has. It's got to be close to 70 towns. But I'm thinking the bigger cities need suburbs. Like I did with London. I know, we're getting distracted. I'm not getting anything done. But here we go. If we go to London, I want to do more of this, and I want to do a lot more of that in London, especially if we go West Coast Main Line or Northern, more of the Northern Line. Sorry about that. It's very windy up here. Howling wind. Yeah, but I want to do more of this, like we've got St Pancras, London, Paddington, City of London, Tottenham Hale, Stratford, Finsbury Park. There could be more. There could be the suburbs around here too. In fact, we could have really, really gone out here all the way to Croydon, no doubt, which we have down here. So we have South Croydon and Croydon for the train service there. We have Acton and Paddington. I think we could have gone more. There's more than likely a station here too. And I know there are branch line stations. Wouldn't it be great if we could have the ability to add towns or villages? I'm thinking it gives you a brush with, say, a crossroads or a T-junction, and then, say, 2 residential, 2 commercial, and then 2 industry. You plonk it down as an entity and name it. It gets a default name like Newtown 1 or whatever. You know what I mean. And then you name that, and then it becomes part of the map as a normal living working town. It's up to you to expand that. I think that would be amazing personally. Bit selfish because I want to do that. I mean, in the great scheme of things, villages are created as time progresses. Not all towns and villages were there from the beginning, obviously. So I think that would be a neat touch. Combine that with the ability to say open Harlington. See, we've got overview charts. What about another one here? Settings. And you could padlock growth and expansion. That's the same thing, isn't it? Just say the same thing twice with different words. What I meant to say was, it would be like, I want the ability to lock them from creating roads, so that would be expansion, and I would like the ability to stop them upgrading. So that would be upgrading. Perhaps. I don't know how you'd word it. Someone with a better vocabulary than me could come up with something great for that. But yeah, just be able to lock them and stop them from creating roads, and stop them from upgrading roads if you want. And you can pick and choose then, so you could keep your small villages. They would be fully functioning, but they would stay small. Should we get back to this? Because I got sidetracked. I'm loving this, by the way. Loving it. It's pretty much how it looks. I can't remember what's on top, so we're going to leave it. There are definitely bushes around there. And there are definitely bushes down here too, so we can do that without worry. And this stays separate for the longest time. It does eventually join up, these two, and it will become 4-track as well. 4-track? Yeah, 4-track. So let's keep going, shall we? We want to stay flat for now. Yeah, we lose some ground over. That's where we want to head. I think this is where we're going to have to do our next little bit of viaduct work. First, we need to head this way. Ooh, that's not where you want to go. So let's get the main line going. See if we can. We should bring this up. Yeah, it looks like a viaduct. There, I don't know whether this will be a viaduct. I don't think so. It might be. That would be fun. If we could get 2 in, maybe. We might do. It's going... One of them isn't an arch one. One of them is like a newfangled one. Oh, I accidentally got 90 round. I don't mind them slowing down. So I guess we want a couple of markers. Don't need to be perfectly as it does it perfectly. There we go. Get that out. Connect you there. Now I apologize if there's like a weird mumbling on the recording. The neighbours are having an outside party to celebrate Sunday, I guess. That's possibly a thing. It does have the word day in it. But yeah, I'm not sure whether I don't think it was a compressor mic, so it shouldn't pick it up. It does pick up cars going by sometimes, and I do have to edit those out on occasion. I mean, I don't have to. Could call it extra sound effects. But yeah, thumping bass is not really a sound effect I want on my recordings. And I have looked into soundproofing what is no longer really my computer room, or our computer room, because my wife's computer's in here too. But it is turning into a bit of a studio, which I don't mind. I'm kind of enjoying everything I'm doing. And where am I going there? Enjoying it too much because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. So I'm really happy about turning it into... I've looked into the soundproofing. I mean, it won't soundproof, but it will dampen at least. And it should drown out some of the cars going by and possibly stop some of the echoing. I can maybe adjust my setup slightly. I probably need to encase the mic in some sort of soundproofing too. It's all new to me. I'm learning as we go. Channel's obviously growing at a rate I wasn't expecting, which is awesome. Alright, I did a cheeky little save there. I don't know whether I should mention I saved it or just leave the editing. You can guess what happened. No, I should tell you why there's an edit. Most part, it could be the dog barking or whatnot. If you're interested in knowing why there are cuts, then I'll gladly say afterwards. If you don't give a monkeys, then I'll let me know in the comments below and I'll just leave it out. Like, here comes a car now. Let's see. Well, it's not a car, it's a truck. I don't know how loud that will be. I'm just going to leave this one in for science. Of course, he'll just rev his engine a little bit as well. Why not? Why not? Right, what were we doing? Possible viaduct situation approaching. I mean, it might happen. If it happens naturally, then we're keeping it. And it does need to be separate. What I do need to check is the map, because I can't remember which the first one is. I guess it doesn't matter. We could turn it into 4-track now, because we are very, very close to Bedford. And it's not long after here that it turns into a 4-track, so... yeah, that is a possibility. It stays separate though, so it wouldn't be like that so much as it would kind of branch off here. Maybe we do that. I'm thinking we do that regardless, because this is where it happens. There's all sorts of things going on here, but we need to keep them... since it's flat, we need to keep it quite quick too. $50 sound good to everybody? I think that's good. Yeah, it kind of does that. Obviously. And then I'm fairly sure this is up, down, up, down. So it would be like that. And then we've got another one that crosses over this side too. I think that covers all of our bases. This one needs to be a bit quicker because it's on what would be the fast. I think 70 or 67, 70 is good enough. I'm happy with that. And that would be there. And they do kind of cross over like that. So, does that cover all our bases? I think it does, and that's a junction we like. The junction I like. We're missing something, I believe. And that's crossing over here. Once we have that in, that block is done. And I think it should be quite quick too. Maybe a bit closer there. When we get you to 60 would be nice. That's a hell of a... 60? Anybody? Oh. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm happy with that. This will be because this is... From this point forward, I should say, that is freight only going up. But this point here will be passenger services as well. So yeah, we need to definitely do that. We're going to need a signal here, as freight trains will be using this line up to this point. And then obviously they're going to get off there. This way will be freight heading north. So we'll need a clearing signal somewhere near this tunnel. Looks good to me. One way, I guess we can match it this side too. Don't really have clearing signals, but we'll make do. Clearing sections, I guess it would just be a magnet on the ground. Or I could be wrong. And we'll have one outside the tunnel. There we go. One up here. How close are we? Kind of want it before the corner, but I'm fairly confident they don't care about them being on a corner. From what I've seen. So then we need this way. And that way. I think that'll do us for now. These will be fast blocks, so just need to scrunch them up a bit when we get to this crazy block we've got going here. Now the next thing will be viaduct. Are we going to get one? We could force it to possibly do a short one, I think. If it's not going to do it naturally, we'll make it do it. It wants to, doesn't it? But it's not quite there. Yeah, and then we're going back, so... Shall we force it? We'll force the issue. We'll get our brush tool again, but this time we'll lower it. And I'll never remember where it is, will I? No, I won't. Go for... I want to... probably not that. Maybe 9. By 9. Just that's enough for a viaduct. Then we want to lower. And then adjust the height. Right. How did I do this? Minus, that's right, that's right. I almost forgot. We start just a small viaduct. That's the wrong one. Don't need to go that. Well, I guess we could go a bit. Keep that there. A bit longer. I'm saying 1, 1. There we go. Let's just make sure our height adjustment works, shall we? Do you reckon we've got it? Do you reckon that will give us our viaduct? Oh, look at that. It did. Keep straight. There we go. We have it, but it's not. We'll make this one the newfangled one. So, I mean, that works straight off the bat, doesn't it? But I think it's more like these, but oh, not like that. It's kind of more like that. I don't like that texture though. It's a bit, what's the word? Streaky. I don't mind streaky bacon, but that's a streaky bridge. That's something I don't want. That is a bit better. I'm a bit worried about the shadows on these though. Really, I don't know if anybody knows whether these have been fixed. I keep checking the workshop, but they leave a weird gap where there's no shadow. That one's nice too. I like that one. That's probably how it is, to be fair. If we can find just a little bit there. I just hope these shadows are better. Not really, but whatever. That's what we're going with. Because the bridge itself looks good. What does these look like? I don't think that's what we need. Well, that looks good too. That one doesn't. That one does. Not bad at all. That one's alright. I'm going to stick with this, what we had. Can I remember which one it was? I believe it's that one. Yeah. There we go. That's about all it does. It's not done a bad job with the shadows, actually. Oh, yeah. That's alright. That's acceptable. I like. We might be able to get another one in. We'll go round. We're going to have to start heading towards Bedford now and finally get connected up. Speed's alright. Keep the... No, let's join these up now. Gradually join these up. There we go. That was a much easier viaduct. But that's pretty much how it is. Not that one. And we can get rid of the obvious things I did. Make it look natural. Beautiful. Quick and simple. I mean, it would, though the legs would be slightly closer, but it's good enough for a modern viaduct anyway. Not sure whether it's modern. I mean, as in very modern. But it certainly looks different to the double viaducts back there with the arches. So we might be able to fit our second one in here, providing we do something similar. This needs to join, and then it needs to head back out for the next double viaduct. So we got 2 of the 4, possibly. We'll stay together like that for a while. If we could connect and get our service here running to Bedford as well, that'd be amazing for this episode. That'd be perfect, in fact. But let's get a march on, shall we? Cue Benny Hill music. No, don't. I'm not. I won't do that. Oh yeah, we're definitely heading downwards. It looks like it's going to be a thing. It is a thing. And how much of a thing? That's too long. Don't need it that long. That's about as much. So what we need to do then is head back here, since we know it's going to do it. Have that. Have that. Have this section here. And we scoot back out a little bit. This we're going to go for the other Gothic texture. And it will be just before Bedford, which is about right. There we go. No, not down. Not there we go. We'll go about that far, I think. It needs to be pretty similar to the last one we did. How long was that? Not amazingly long, is it? You would think it was stretching half the map on how long it took me to do, but it is quite long. Alright. Maybe we just take it to about there. That looks good. Can we just use these and cheat? No, of course we can't. I know I should just do it. Just stop backing out. There we go. It's happening. Now, if it starts to take me too long, that's not a thing, is it? That's a thing. Yeah, if it starts to take me too long, we'll end it. Not end it. I'll cut and come back when I've done it. I think 2 episodes back to back with me doing what is effectively the same. The same design is a bit excessive. There we go. Now, how are we going to get down to... No, don't go down yet. Stay flat. Perfect. We're a bit high. We're a lot high. That's awful. Oh, and a bit wiggly too. Not do that. We might be too high here. Which is weird. I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? As long as we can have some elevation, as long as it's not too bad. How's that looking? That's not too bad at all, is it? That's a fairly gentle incline. It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Let's just see. Yeah, no, that's acceptable. More than acceptable, in fact. Okay. Connect that one up. And we have a connection. I think we save this for a time lapse. I would like to do some more scenery work. Start to bring this up. Yeah, and then we can get the let's get the train running. Because that would be great. Right, since we've got that all in, are we happy with that as a gradient for the Midland Main Line? That's not much of a gradient at all, is it? Switch this to high, actually. I want to bring this up. And we're saved. Fortunately, we had every single loud truck in Texas drive by. So that was good timing. And the neighbours decided to turn up their music a little further. We'll see if our mic picks it up. Which would suggest that the adults have had one too many Panda Pops by now. It's about 8:30 in the evening, so yeah, more than likely. Anyway, not to be deterred, we shall continue. Your party shall not stop. My track laying party. That's what that's what this is. It's a track laying party. So, while I waited for every truck to go by in existence, I did this blocking area here, which is pretty accurate before reaching Bedford, if you were travelling this way, or after Bedford, if you're travelling the other way. So we have the one here that you can use. I don't know why there are two, I guess in case of breakdowns or faster trains perhaps. Maybe the freight trains get over sooner. I don't know, you've got plenty of options there. And we've got lots of signals. And we've got quite a large blocking area here. We shouldn't have too many problems with the length of our trains running here. Obviously, they're pretty much commuter lines. Yeah, since the party is revving up next door, and when I finish recording, I'm going to turn on my sound system too and do some editing. What we got here, nothing of interest. I'm going to do some editing and have a fairly priced sound system that doesn't need to be very loud to drown them out, fortunately. If I do turn mine up very loud, it's excessively loud, and I don't like that. It starts to shake things on shelves. I don't find much need for that. It might be my old age. All right. So I think we should extend our line to end this episode. We're not going to do this. There's a lot to do here. I really want to do this as a time lapse, and I promise I will do this one as a time lapse. I won't start it and go, you know what, it'll only take a couple of seconds, because it didn't. It took like a good couple of hours to do that, because I was faffing around with this mostly, and that, and maybe deleting, and I'm not sure what's going on here. That's not really a good plan, guys. I don't mind it, but what you should have done, I'm going to teach the computer a little bit of a lesson here. What you should have really done is something like this. And then you can come around there, and then you can build either side with a... without being too crazy with your road design. And what we got here. There. We do go up a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll do that. See where we're going to connect. It was fairly straight. And then we'll do that. Make it a little smoother. In fact, it can be smoother still. We go from there. Instead, there we go. That's beautiful. I know we're supposed to be expanding our train route into Bedford. I will do it, but I've got carried away now with smoothing. Now a smoothing party. That's also not a thing. All right. Are we good? I think we're good. We've got a functioning Midland Main Line up to Bedford. So the Midland Main Line is from Kettering so far to Bedford. That is great. And we have a good run here, really. We're going to be on this line for the most part, and then we will switch over here, or should we wait until... I think we wait till we get here, and then we'll switch over to our local platform. As you see, I've got a two-way signal here for now to then come back, and then it's up to us what we do then. So we're going to have to do that twice with our crazy line we've got going here, and we're probably going to have to add another train on. So let's do it, and let's pause. Look at the year. Almost 59, and it's the 27th of December. Everybody's feeling full. Right. What do we do? Wellingborough. Is this the two? These are the two, right? The two Wellingboroughs. So rather than going straight back to Kettering, this is gonna be a mess, isn't it? Let's get the... We want to go to Wellingborough. Now we need to go to Bedford. We need to pick... not that platform. Oh, that platform obviously works, but that's not where we want to go. I want you to use the platform I designated, which would be this one. So let's... which is it? It's one of these. Beautiful. Yeah, and I do think this is where I want it to cross over. Yeah, you don't like it going back. That's fine. You will. Why don't you like it going back? I don't... Oh, because we're not going back to Wellingborough. My bad. You're correct, game. You are correct. Beautiful. But now, that's not beautiful though, is it? Did you change that back? You did change... They need to fix that. Don't be changing things. Can't see which platform it is now. Where are we? Bedford. Yeah, why did you change that back? Didn't need to. Wellingborough, Bedford, Wellingborough. Why can't you do that? Do we have... We don't have anything... Oh. Why are you one way there? You shouldn't even be there. Silly. Get rid of that. There we go. See? Overzealous signal laying. Now we have it. That's perfect. Let's double check that we're going to stay on that route. So after Bedford, we need to go here. That's just to make sure. And then we'll double make sure that after Wellingborough, we come here. Now we need to do it again from here. And we'll need to go back here again to platform 1. Platform 1. And then back to... Might as well put the signals in, thinking about it. And then to there. This is a long... After Wellingborough, you go there. We'll get this, you see. Look at us go. Just don't forget to put Wellingborough in. Oh, I've messed it up. Not there. After this signal. And then we should go back to Kettering. Okay. I think we did it. Yeah, we don't care about that. Let's double check, shall we? That all looks good to me. Corby, Kettering, Wellingborough, Bedford, Wellingborough, Kettering, Corby, Kettering, Corby. These top ones are the short routes, and then we have a double amount to represent the main routes that run throughout the day. Absolutely superb. So we add another train on. Obviously we've got our new consists that we're using, but we definitely need another train on here. We could, you know, use this place here, couldn't we? Could we use this? Let's play it. See what if we get anything at the end of the year. And let's see if we can put another train on from this. There we go, standard class 7. I checked it eventually. And we need our wagons. Passenger, please. Here we go, and it was these. We want 1, 2, 3. Brake coach, passenger coach. And you need to go on this line. Yee. Never gets old. Oh, he's off. He's off to Bedford. So. Good job, me, for not taking an entire episode to do this viaduct. I probably would take an entire episode to do that one though. But we have done the route, and it was a bit tricky in places, but not overly so. Just takes a little while. This guy's using it. Should we jump on board? There's not really much to see. It's not boring though. It could be better. It will be better. I'll make sure of that. Once I know what we're doing. Up here, well, I'm pointing to the screen again. I guess I'm never ever going to get used to that. Probably by episode 3000, I'll still be pointing at the screen. We're probably not going to go to episode 3000. Who knows? We might do. I guess if you add all the series together. I'm just seeing how it runs. Is it bumpy? Do we have to sort any track out? Good way to end the episode though, right? I'm liking it so far. A little bit upset about the shadows across the bridge, but we'll live with it. The famous hovering viaduct, we will complete that. I'll do it in the dark gothic colours too, and it will be very similar to the one we did before, because that is scary. This is what I wanted to see, because unfortunately I had to do this massive junction here on these switches on a slope, and that's never usually a good idea. Okay, not too bumpy. We don't mind a little bit of bump, but we don't want it to be like crazy. Yep, that's fine. Slight change in elevation there is absolutely fine. That's beautiful. I am 100% happy with that. There you go, Bedford. You are now connected to the Midland Main Line and the rest of our network for that matter. So let's go and pick a train. because at the end of the last episode, I don't know whether you noticed, I got all excited that I found a train pulling into the station, and then it left the other way. I was going to change it. I was like, no, just leave it. If he wants to be silly and go away from the camera, that's entirely his prerogative. So let's pick a spot. Do we have a train anywhere? We should do it on the Midland Main Line somewhere. They're all spread out far too much, aren't they? We're going to need even more trains on here. Do we add another train on there? There is a lot of stops. Let's add another train, and then we can force an ending by having a train coming out of the... Oop, don't change its colour. Wagons, passenger. 1, 2, 3. Freight car. Passenger car. There we go. Forward Kettering, please. You are our ending. And we'll sit up here a little bit on the sidings. Nothing happened at the end of the year, so nothing to be excited about just yet. And with that sad note, until next time, take care.